Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Movement time. It's Halloween today, when you get to the night kind of thing, but who knows what you're experiencing in this very thin veiled time and seasonal shift and like it's getting colder, drier. So fluid in fluid filled spaces is gonna move less. We have to move it more. That's where our heat therapies come in and gentle movement, joint movement, stuff like this. So let's start today with some joint movement on the from seated position. Let's do the whole Pavamuktanasana series because that is just so helpful. So we can come down to the floor and just enjoy a moment of breath together. How are you breathing today? How is the breath accessible? What's open and moving? What does not feel as open and moving? Just taking all of that into observation. Couple more breaths here, just settling. Nice. From here, let's start with the fingertips. We'll do the whole thing, starting with upper body today, making a fist with the thumb on the inside, and then give a little squeeze and a flex. So we squeeze and flex, getting fluid moving through the joints of the fingers and then the rather complex joint of the thumb. Nice, shake it out. Make a fist with the thumb on the inside and we move the wrist up and down. So we want arms coming straight out from the shoulders, not too high, not too low. Shoulders relaxed, there's space in the neck. Nice long neck, shoulders are not up by your ears. We might be getting sounds, crunching, popping noises. Let's make circles. I have so much sounds today. It's crazy. Let's go opposite direction. Nice. And shake it out from the shoulders down to the wrist. Make a flat palm up and down. So what I mean by that is spread the fingers very wide, flex. Try to have all the way up as flat a palm as you can muster, and the same thing on the way down. So you have to really extend through the fingers, keep that flex up and down. If you're losing that form, you could slow down, move slowly, mindfully. And shake it out. Wiggle the wrist. You come up with some more wiggles. Now just rest the arms and feel fingers, wrists, lots of tingling, flowing, sense of activation. So we want to commit that feeling to the memory bank. That's the feeling of things moving. That's the feeling of fluid flowing. Tingly, warm, flowy, sometimes even cool and tingly. And then we're ready to come up to the elbows. Make a fist with the thumb on the inside. Give a little circle and a little gentle shake on the way out. Sort of circle-ish movement. Opposite direction. It could be no shake, less shake, or even very dynamic. But feel free to find a medium speed. Nice. We're going to shrug the shoulders up and down. And play with your jaw a little while you do that. Nice. Shake it out through the arms. Small shoulder circles. Gentle smile on the face. Relaxing facial muscles. Or even playing with jaw. Let's go opposite direction. Shrug, shrug, shrug. Shake it out. Big shoulder circles we trace with elbows. So we bring our fingertips onto the shoulders and we trace the circle with elbows. Nice breath in as you're opening up the chest. Let's go in the opposite direction. Right? As if you're going to squeeze the elbows together. Nice. Shake, shake out. And let's get a feeling of the shoulders, elbows, wrist, and finger. So tinglies, let's come for neck movement, nice and gentle. We're gonna bring the chin back and chin towards chest. We don't really want to do dynamic neck movement. Your neck would like you to slow down and be mindful. Nice, we're gonna take this very simple right and left movement. Gentle smile on the face, relaxing jaw and facial muscles as we move. Let's go ear to shoulder. Let's come back to the center. We're going to tuck the chin, half circle up to the shoulder, down to the middle, over to the opposite shoulder. That's inhale. Exhale. Back to the middle. Picking up the head. Take a moment to feel neck, shoulders, elbows, wrist, fingers, fingertips. Let's do a little bit of jaw movement. So what we're going to do is drop the jaw down and give ourselves a little underbite and then just go up and down a few times. Nice. And then wiggle a little. So these muscles that are here on the side of the jaw, these are some of that temporal muscle that is, and the mandible. Those are the most powerful muscles, the strongest muscles in the body. So getting fluid moving through the little fluid spaces in the jaw, that's tough. Let's drop the jaw down and now let's go swinging right and left. And you're going to hear a lot of sounds in there. Nice. Come back to center and give some raspberries. Like a little. Just see like what's happening in there. All right. Is there one side that has more tension than the other? More crunchies in the other? Do you feel like giving a little bit of uh, palpation here? A little bit of massage with the fingers on those real tight places. Just see how that helps. Yeah, yeah, you need some sounds in there. Yeah. I'm kind of feeling interconnectivity with the ears. Oh, yeah. Okay, where are we in our thing? That's nicer. A little bit warm, a little bit warmer through the jaw. A little bit gone on this side. Okay, let's take a little twist while we're here. So we're breathing in the center. Backhand pushes the body forward. So we want to be nice and straight up. So we could have flat palm, we could have fingertips, we could have hand on a block. Take a little twist here. Nice breath in. Exhale to opposite side. Backhand pushing the chest forward. Noticing differences on two sides. Nice breath in. And back to center. Just feel the whole upper body for a moment. Even compare upper body and lower body. Get lower body going in this tingling, activating thing. Go ahead and stretch the legs. I'm still sitting right on the edge of something. That feels good for support. And I'm just going to commence wiggling. Get some blood moving through the legs. I'm going to make some windshield wipers. And already that's going to help me start noticing tight places, not so happy places, very happy places. I'm still like at my jaw. Here we go. Just like we started at the fingers, we're going to squeeze the toes, and then each toe is going to flex, stretch in between each of the toes. Squeeze, flex. You might have one toe that's like a little bit stuck. Give it a little wiggle. Squeeze and flex the toe. It's coming along. space between the toes. Some people can do this really well. Yeah. Alright. Well, we're starting to get there. Couple more. Nice. Let's come to flex and point with the ankle. Noticing where we feel constriction, where we feel openness. Okay, turn this into circle. I can feel that warmth at the backs of the legs, getting things going. How about the opposite direction? Nice. Separate the feet a little, and these are circles in opposite. And switch. Nice. Shake it out. Right? These windshield wipers start feeling a little bit different, a little bit more loose. And again, wiggle behind the backs of the legs. Also, hopefully that's feeling a little looser. So what's happening back here with these hands? There could be a lean back. There could be less of a lean back. There could be, let's say that's not working for the wrist. This could be fists. Could even be light fingertips. Nice. Take a moment and feel toes, feet, ankles. We're going to come up to the knees here, squeezing the quadricep muscles. Can't really see it with my pants on, but you're squeezing and releasing. Squeezing and releasing the quadricep muscles of the thighs pulls the kneecap up and down. A really beautiful therapeutic movement for the knees. I think we're going to add in a little extra knee massage today because when it gets cold and damp and chilly, late autumn, winter time, chilly, the low back and the knees, they get really cranky. You could try a few faster, right? What are we moving? Fluid and fluid filled spaces. So just getting enough of that kinetic energy, heat, moving that fluid from more gel states, solid states to more fluid states. What happens in the cold of winter? The water freezes, right? Ice. It moves from fluid state to solid. Similarly in your body. Oh, we could go really fast. Knee twerks. Da-da-da-da-da. And now wiggle behind the backs of the legs. Make some windshield wipers. Just see, where are we getting a loosening, opening? Okay, another movement for the knees here. This is a really nice stretch for that fascia on the backs of the knees. So you're going to clasp your hands together just above the knee joint and then as you would straighten that leg, you can feel a little stretch on the back of the knee. So what we're doing here is drawing the knee in towards the chest and then just letting it hover above the floor and having a nice stretch on that fascia on the back of the knee. So here, so my leg is off the floor and I'm stretching, activating that fascia on the back of my knee. Nice, let's try 5 on the other side. In towards the chest. And straightening it out. Yeah, we can get lots of stagnation behind the back of the knee, popliteal crease, very important pressure point there, bladder 40. And that's a favorite place for fluid. So that's bladder channel. That's the water channels of the body. And so the body loves to put like this back there, right? It's like this big open space behind the back of the knee. Like, that's a perfect place to put excess fluid. Yeah, no, it's not, because then you can't bend your knee and you can't walk and all. So we want to keep like incredible. So I'm just pressing that pressure point right now, right in the center of the popliteal crease in the back of the knee, and just gently pressing until that fascia lets me in. I've got my knees a little bit bent so that I could get into that space. Just encouraging movement, flow. Let's do another little massage technique for the knees. So right center of the palm, we're going to go around the kneecap. Around the kneecap. Right? Knee is a real wonky joint, like the elbow. It only folds in one direction, right? And lots of meeting place, lots of anatomy. Let's go the opposite direction. So lots of connective tissue, fascia, dynamic movement. We ask a lot of this joint, and so it needs lots of care. Okay, so I'm going around the kneecap, right center of the palm. And now let's give a little bit more love to the back of the knee, popliteal crease. Same thing, right center of the palm, circles around the back of the knee. Might have to bend the knees a little bit. Let's go in both directions. Okay, last up is we're going to manipulate the patella. So you'll use your thumbs and your fingers and just push the patella forward and pull it back. It's anchored by a tendon. So you're not going to like fly it off or anything, but just front and back. Right? You want to get all that juicy fluid moving. Okay, now use the fingers and go side to side. And if you've ever dislocated your patella, I've had a few people who are like, I can't do this, and it's actually can be really rehabilitative to see that, look, your patella has a pretty big range of motion here. You have to feel what that looks like. Sometimes it can be a little crunchy when you do that. And let's do the other side. So we just did thumb and fingers back and forward. So sometimes you can like feel the little crunchies in there. We don't like the crunchies in the knee. Yeah, we want to skip crunchies. So getting fluid moving helps dissolve crunchies. It's very gentle. You're not pushing much at all. Okay, so yeah, this knee has a little bit of crunch. It's just like sludgy. There's a little, that's just like a little ridge or something. Okay, now we did side to side, right and left. See where the extent of this patellar movement is. Don't worry, nothing's gonna fall out. So all all the Asian systems, their outlook is if you want to keep healthy knees, you have to keep moving them in all the directions that they move. The problem is that we sit a lot and then try to move. Even if that's just like walking, going to the grocery store, or like having a night out dancing, and then you're like, oh, my knees hurt so much because your knees were like, yeah, but you don't exercise me regularly. And Asian systems, you gotta like compress the knees, things like diamond pose and seiza, like you need to really move the knees. Just coming back a little bit to that forward and backward movement, that felt like it had a little something to it. Nice. Do a couple more of those knee pull-ups now. Things should be feeling a lot more open, and you should also possibly, be feeling more of all the connective tissue around, all those muscles, tendons, ligaments, just in a ability to feel the different aspects of the anatomy of the knee, right? Instead of it being like a conglomerate of tightness. Wiggle. Make some windshield wipers. Yeah, that's a wildly different scene in there. Okay, let's move up to the hips. Taking our time. Okay, so we're gonna pick up the right leg. We could hang out here. We could bring this right arm from the inside and hold this leg up. And we're gonna make circles in the hip socket. And the opposite direction. Nice. We're gonna go side to side. This foot could come into the crease of the elbow, at the wrist, in the hand, and rock side to side. So utilizing dynamic movements to get fluid moving in the joint. I'm definitely like pretty far leaning back here. Okay, come into the center and take a breath. And now something of a half lotus, right? It's gonna really depend on just where things are at today. But something edging towards half lotus, easing towards the floor, wiggly dynamic movement. And holding. And a nice release from here. Stretching things out and wiggle. Right? So that dynamic movement of that half lotus, we've got ankle, knee, hip all involved. So it's really helpful to start at the bottom and move upwards. Okay, let's see what awaits us on the other side. Picking up left leg, left arm from the inside. Circles with the hip in both directions. Cradling and rocking. Holding in the center. Something of a half lotus. Drawing up towards the crease of the thigh. Rotating towards the floor and trying to get some evenness, both hips on the floor. And then use dynamic movement if it feels good to open up through. Wherever you are, hold. Nice. Take a big breath in. Exhale. The windshield wiper. Right. Let's pause just for a second and add a little bit of foot massage here. So just bringing left foot across. You're going to take your fingers and interlace the fingers through the toes and then manipulate this joint space up and down. Nice. And now give a little love in between each of the toes. Those little, each one has a little divot, a little space, and just press through there. With the pads of your thumbs, give a little love to the sole of the foot. Harder to massage the heel, but we try and get around the heel. You can even use your fingertips on the outer arch if you're massaging your left foot. Get around the heel, bottom of the heel. Ooh. Find some spots that need a little love. Right? So all of this foot also has fluid filled spaces, right? And then a little circle of the ankle. Let's do the other foot. So just coming a little off the thigh, interlace fingers, and move through joint spaces on bottom of the foot. You can even kind of have a little tug of the toes there. And then with your fingers on the top of the foot, massage in between each of the toes. Beautiful grounding here, getting into the feet, presencing the feet. Use your thumbs to get at the pad of the foot. Bottom of the foot. Use the fingers to get that outer arch. And around the heel. The heel itself, not so easy, but we give it a little go. There's also the inner arch. And we got a little spot there in the inner arch. Nice. I like these happy feet. Let's bring the legs stretch out. Make the windshield like a bird. Oh, that's nice. We're getting there. Okay, butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. So that the feet come towards one another. And you might still be playing around with some of that foot massage here. Right, get it in between each of the toes, kind of moving through the big toe. Inner arches are right there. Let's do some pelvic tilting. Inhale, hips tilt forward. Exhale, tailbone tucks under. That can be a little micro movement. Doesn't have to be a lot. Let's make circles here in Baddha Konasana. Let's go in the opposite direction. Nice. And when we're going to take this forward fold, lots of options, holding at the ankle, holding at the calves, clasped around the toes, opening the feet like a book. Like maybe we're still working on some of that flexibility through the feet, or we could do East Asian style. Finger turn inwards, we inhale. And as we exhale, we lead with the elbows in that gentle forward bend. Opening up fire channels, heart and small intestine. Inhale, we're back up, stretching legs, make windshield wipers. Wow, feeling all over the body. Take a little pause, this warmth, love, activation. All right, we warmed up quite a few things. Seems like there could be some more action through the hips. Like that's so let's come on the hands and knees. Fingers spread nice and wide. Let's keep this fluid, flowy vibe going here. Inhale, exhale. Pavanmuktanasana, the set that we just did, is so incredibly healing. Like, really, we should be doing a variation of that every day. Name of the game, stagnation. What happens if the temperature gets cooler? More stagnation. We have to get pretty savvy with how we are going to keep ourselves healthy, mobile, lots of range of motion. Let's take this right and left side body movement. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in. Exhale, find the heel. Last one here. Inhale. Exhale. Let's rest these wrists. Take a child's pose. Stretch it all forward. Nice opportunity to stretch the right side, walking the fingertips slightly forward. To stretch through the left side. One, now just kind of alternating, reaching. Even being on the fingertips, so you're getting like under the shoulder, under the armpit. Walking back slowly. Let's do some circles. So this is what I'm talking about, like mashing up the knees. Like these Asian systems are like, you need to mash up the knees. You need to crawl around on the floor. That's how you keep your knees healthy, is by like mashing them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So next up, circles from all fours. Gentle figure. Super circular type movement. So we're moving from the navel. Circle. Let's try the opposite direction. Nice. Let's take this forward and backwards. Figure eight. With that little bit of weight bearing on the knees, wrists, ankles, shoulders, right? We might be getting some more sounds, some different sensations. See if we can switch directions. Nice coming back into child's pose. A little bit wider child's pose. Resting breath. Let's slither down onto the belly for a few gentle back bends. Beautiful strengthening movements. Feet together, legs together for the most part, hands by the side of the chest. Very gentle baby cobra, lifting back, rolling the shoulders, squeezing the shoulder blades together. You don't have to push the neck up, like chin up. You could be looking a little bit out. You could be looking downward. When you come down to the floor, take a breath to lengthen the spine. Let's do it again. Belly presses into the floor. Action is lifting from the upper back. We're rolling the shoulders, squeezing the shoulder blades together, breathing in. Exhaling down. Relax the forehead. Couple more. Nice breath in, stretching all the way forward. And let's come into half locust. Inhale, right arm, left leg lifts up. We've been practicing that flex of the foot, a little traction of the leg, and lifting. So we want to activate these water channels. We want to activate kidney channel, bladder channel on the back body. And that's what we do when we're doing extension. So back bending. And one more time to each side. Nice, just a baby locust pose. We're gonna have arms by the sides of the body, pushing the belly into the floor, lifting legs and chest. See about squeezing the shoulder blades together here and lifting the thighs off the floor. Nice breath in. Exhale. Crocodile pose. We're gonna bring the legs a little wide. Bring the heels in, cross one wrist over the other. That's where your crocodile head goes. And this little passive external rotation of the hip. Breathe into the belly. You feel the belly rising and falling as you inhale and exhale here from the floor. that's not working for the wrist or the head or the neck, you could always just come with the forehead onto the hands. Walking. There we go. Feel free to play around inside the pose to get things even on two sides to the best of your ability, to open up cranky places. Just now I needed to readjust my right hip so that it was more settled in the pose. Okay, I think it's ready to walk the feet back together. So you could do a little tail work here. I don't know, maybe this is like a walrus tail or something, but just playing around with toes are pointed outward, so that's external rotation of the hip. And now bring the toes pointing towards one another-ish. Stretch the tops of the feet. Internal rotation of the hip. There's kind of external rotation, internal rotation, external rotation, internal rotation. Just playing around here. And then bring up your fishtail and flap your fishtail from side to side. Again, range of motion for the hip socket is different direction, different location. From prone position. But very similar to if we were seated and bringing the knees in one at a time. Range of motion. Nice, we're back in the center. We're pushing ourselves. Let's spend a little time in Sphinx pose. Elbows under the shoulders. Legs together. A little bit more deep extension here. Nice breath in, coming down. And when you're ready, up and back into child's pose. Give it a little wiggle. A little bit of that range of motion for adductors from here. So widen the knees, straighten up the feet. And now we're just doing range of motion forward and backwards. And now turn the feet outwards like a frog pose. And maybe not as dynamic a movement backwards and forwards, maybe a little bit more micro movement as we have that interplay of adductors. Maybe hanging out here, breathing. Nice. Use your elbows, push into the floor, bring the legs together, child's pose. And this is a Supta Vajradasana reclined diamond pose. Sometimes we also do this in our therapeutic movement for 5 elemental stretches. We need space between, like we're doing a do heroes pose, knees together, hands back, open up front part of the body. Breathe from the quads through the hip flexors and up the sides of the abdomen to the sides of the breast tissue here, and just breathe. And think about your knees loved. Yes, there's a lot more movement there. If you have it, you could be leaning all the way back and laying on the floor. Okay, we're back in the center. We need a counter pose. Let's make it a tats pose. Slowly making our way up. We're back here in diamond. Nice. We're going to come seated. And finishing up with a couple wide leg stand things. I've got a little something under my bum for support. Let's turn to the right side. Big breath in. Exhale a little bit forward. Next inhale, coming back up over to the opposite side. Let's inhale back up a little to the center. Think about being gentle with the low back. Really nice alignment. We don't have to overextend in the pose. Inhaling all the way back up, side bend, inhale. Exhale, we've got top of the thigh or inner thigh. Nice big opening through side body. Different than when we do this as a warm up. Inhaling both arms up. Exhaling. Opposite side. Inhale. And exhale. Down, let's stretch both legs. Nice, give a little sweep to the flesh. So that we're really right on top of the sits bone. And let's draw right leg in for Janusirasana. Left foot flexed. Inhale, stretch up. And only go as much forward as it makes your body happy. We're reaching for that foot. We could bring hands down to the floor and really allow that flex of the foot and evenness on two sides of the body. Next inhale, we're back up and all the way down. So what we want to avoid is like reaching for that front foot, which is one arm. There needs to be an evenness on the two sides. Give a sweep of the flash. Bringing left foot back, pressing on the inside of body, flexing this foot. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale. You can have a little micro bend in that front knee. Next inhale, we're coming back up. And all the way down. Stretching this leg. Let's do a couple of twists from here to finish up. We're going to bring right foot over the left, flexing this left foot. And then we got lots of options. We could wrap with the wrist, with the elbow. This arm could come to the outside. Backhand pushes the chest forward, twisting in opposite direction. Nice breath in. Exhale back to center. Switching sides. Left leg across. Backhand pushing chest forward. Flex of that foot, turning towards the space behind you. Breathing in. Exhale back to center. Last one. We did this sweet little twist last time. Mermaid pose. We'll bring our mermaid tail to one side and twist in the opposite direction. Breath in. Exhale. Switch side. Twisting in the opposite direction. Nice breath in and back to center. Let's come full circle. Back to a seated pose. Come back to the breath. Anything different? More accessible. Are you just like sitting up straighter? Is this pose itself more comfortable? Today we did such a nice practice for cultivating seated meditative pose. This was definitely the ticket. And just self-care, right? Self-love. So if you're in the perfect pocket here to just go off and have a meditation or lay down with blankets and things for a nidra, that sounds lovely. If you're ready to pop up into your day, we have moved ourselves in all the directions. That's feeling good. And I'm so happy to spend this time with you all. So I will see you very soon.